Okay, talking about the bank being a little bit conservative, which you mentioned, the last two increases, which we had highest of like about 200 basis points increase was about the highest. Then after that, it stepped down to about 100, and the last one was a 50.
That's correct.
Then now 25. It means there is a reduction in the hike. There's a reduction, which says, will I say, does that actually mean that these efforts that are being put in place are actually slowing down inflation? And like you said, the reasons that have been put forward before now has been the fact that there's so much liquidity out there that needs to be mopped up. But you also alluded just a moment ago that festive periods like this are actually characterized by some of this inflation, which we've witnessed from the last figure of 33 upwards. Does that mean, I don't understand, what is bringing the pressure on whatever it is that is causing inflation at this particular point in time? Is it about us having much more demand to products and services than supplies that we have? What's the economics? Break it down for the man on the streets to understand what these issues are.
The truth is the supply side constraint cannot be ruled out of it. Obviously, there is this equilibrium between what is supply and what is available. But mostly what is really driving inflation here is the high cost of energy, which government is also addressing. Beyond that is the fact that we also have an inflation, the headline inflation which we have, one, producing food now, the cost of production of food, insecurity is part of the reason. I'm sure government is addressing it. But more importantly is the fact, and which is of concern to the central bank, is that we also have imported inflation. The argument is, if you import a commodity into this country, because our naira has been devalued, it will arrive in this country very expensive. Where there are alternatives to it, you see that people on their scale of preference move away from that imported item to the locally produced one, mounting pressure on the locally produced one, thereby increasing the price of the locally produced one. So an element of the inflation we have on ground is also a function of the fact that our naira has been devalued, and whatever you import into this country come at a very high landing cost, and it is putting pressure on those who want to seek for alternatives of it. So it's a combination of so many things which you have on ground. So if you want to deal with inflation, as it were, beyond increasing the number, is also see how you can address issues of the devaluation of the naira, so you can also stabilize the interest rate, the inflation which is rising in this country at the moment. But like we said, the central bank has also been modest in increasing, like the numbers we turned up. The rate of increase has gradually continued to reduce. And you must also give it to the central bank that its hands are tied. There's not much to do, but they needed to increase it. So they put a little, just 25% on it.